Hi, I want to thank you today for tuning in because I do think that in today's video, everybody is going to go through what our guest speaker has gone through. We build a business, and from building a business, what happens when death comes in? And I really think that if it is of uttermost importance to you that you tune in today, you go through all the way to the end of the video. I think that everything that we do in the TJ tribe is to prepare for such kind of things like this one. And I'm really excited of us having this guest. He's not just a guest, but he's also a member of the TJ tribe. He's been a member of the TJ tribe for just below a year. But already we've been seeing some amazing things. We are working together. And it's been my privilege actually to be walking with him on this journey. So without wasting time, my friends, let me welcome our guest. He's going to be faceless. And the reason why I chose, and I want to say that the reason I chose is because there's a lot of personal information that is jumping in here to talk about. And I wanted to protect him. But however, if you've been in the tree, if you are part of the TJ tribe, those that are actively learning with us, you would have seen him telling us this story. And above that, he has been also been very instrumental to say, guys, I want to be open to you so that I can be able to teach you from a real life of someone that have lost someone, and you got a business going, or you got a couple of business going, you got a couple of properties going. But without wasting time, let me welcome him. We're going to refer to me as brother today, and maybe John as along the way. But brother will do. So, brother, how's it going? And how are you? Um, I think that in my pursuit of doing what I do, I see you representing an ordinary young South African parent. But who are you? And yeah, give us just what do you do? Who are you?
I am a 39-year-old boy. Come from the northern areas in PE. For those of you who've never been to PE, but have been to Joburg, just imagine Eldorado Park. I'm from a similar area. Matriculated down there in 2001. Obtained a BCom degree down there. Moved to Joburg in the same year. I married my high school sweetheart in 2011. I'm a father of a grade 1 boy. I actually completed my work. I'm now sitting outside of the parents' house where he's at his 7th birthday party out here. And I'm a passionate Man United supporter, and I feel for everyone who supports anything else. My day job, how I pay for most of my life. I'm a CFO by trade. Most people, when they hear the word CFO, think, yo, this guy earns a lot. I work for a medium-sized company, so big title. Medium-sized company equals medium-sized salary. So let's not think about the word CFO. And I'm passionate about property. I have been my whole life. I don't know if you guys used to read the Sunday Times and the report. They always had this nice properties in there, and it's always been a dream of mine to own one of them until I started earning my own money and realizing what a bond is.
Yeah, thank you for that. And why did you choose to invest in property? Because you got lots of things that you're doing, right? But why do you invest in property?
So why property? I think most of it speaks for itself. But to me, there's two main reasons behind it. One, it's a good store of value. Two, there's just a feeling that you get driving past the place and be able to say that either I've owned it or I currently own it. There's just a good feeling that I get, that I resonate with. And I've always wanted to do something where I can say I took something from here to there. I took it from ugly to beautiful, but I can't replace a plug point. It's just not, I'm very good with a calculator, but can't work with my hands. So property gives you that, because you can buy an ugly thing and appoint builders to fix it for you while you tell them what to do.
Right, right. I get that. Did you always invest in property? You speak about you being employed and being in a young profession, and I like your title, by the way, CFO and all of those nice things. But have you always been investing in property?
So here comes the story that I actually wanna share with you guys in terms of a learning experience. So pre-COVID, we're talking about 2020. I had 4 buy-to-lets by then. I owned a family, and my family home. I want to tell you a story about the first property that I bought before we get to the rest. So I just started working for a new company, and the current CFO, I took his job later on. He purchased some property in a new development. And then a couple of years on, there was two units available that they have kept on their books. Because I visited his properties before, I never even went to go and look at the place, nothing at all. They had it on their books at 340,000. I negotiated that at 380,000, I get the 40 difference. So I get the place basically for free, and the bank gave me 100% bond. I thought I was buying a 2-bedroom unit. I end up buying a 1-bedroom unit the day after I got the bond and everything. Just that particular unit that I bought at 380,000. 12 years later, I've just sold at 375,000. The worst investment I've ever come across in my life. And the reason why that happened is I'm financially educated. I'm very good at doing budgets at work. I can keep money, work with money, move it for. But once it comes to your personal life, it's a whole different story.
I want to jump in there, brother. So I just want to say to you that with everything that you have said, I want to put in a disclaimer to say you are not alone. And I don't think that with what you've just shared with us, there's other people that haven't done this. I remember when I was at the bank, right? And would create credit products, product meaning that, we're going to sell the money to other people, etc. But I never actually capitalized on the credit itself until like much later in my profession. But I think it tells me that, there's a term that they say it's always the doctor's kids that are always sick because the doctor is too busy being a doctor and he can't look after his kids, right? Or they will generally say it's the builder's house that is never looked after. Why? Because the builder is looking after the other people's houses. And this is the same with you, but I almost want to say to you, if honestly, if we were to ask anyone out there to say in a room of 10 people, raise your hand if all of your affairs are in good order, maybe about 2 people would raise their hands confidently. So I don't think that you are alone, and I applaud you that you're telling us this story today so that we can now be able to learn this within this journey. So thank you very much for being vulnerable and for sharing this part of your journey that you have gone through. And yeah.
In 2021, tragedy struck. I lost my wife due to COVID. And then losing someone is one thing, but life continues after that. And then life taught me the lessons of not having a trust, buying everything in my personal capacity. All 4 those units and that family home now needs an answer. Once you go to the master's office, declare the death, they are all bonded. The bank is now in front of you. Please send us your your income and expenses, lease agreements. Are you moving all these bonds over to you? And you're now faced with all these choices, all these things that need to happen. And you have to appoint an attorney that's now going to take care of the estate in itself. And I mean, if you can imagine this estate, the way it sits at 3.5%, it was hectic. So my bad estate planning, and remember, I'm a CFO by trade. I am very good at tax. I'm very good at counting, but in my personal life, my administration was all over the place at that stage. So much so that some of my wife's life policies still had a mother and a father on it, who one has passed and one passed 2 weeks after. So now you've got money that should have come to the family. Those policies were taken out way before we got married. I never made sure that she that she fixed it, because we have a son now. We discussed it, but never made sure of anything. And it is just one financial mess to go through. So I can sit here today saying that every time TJ says, get a trust, establish a company, those things are realities. Once you go through it yourself, and I hope that by sharing this in my personal experience, that if you were hesitant in terms of doing these things and getting these foundations in place, believe me, each and every one of these units, you either have to sell, you have to make certain decisions, you have to go, and there's a 3.5% plus VAT, call it 4%. I think at the end I paid like 120,000 just to the attorney. That's just for handling the estate. Then you still have to look at all these bonds needs to be transferred again, either to my name or sold. So it is fundamental that if you want to be a property investor, get the trust, get it established properly. And that's the message I wanted to bring across today. I'm going to give you an idea of post-COVID. So I founded the trust. I had to purchase the family home, put it into the trust, opened 2 companies under the trust, got myself a property coach, and I invested in a propertycation. Don't coin the word. But the fact that I was financially trained in my past, or currently still am, didn't really assist me when I tried to do the property thing. So I actually got the coach, spent some money, spend time in these type of sessions on a regular basis. And I've changed my strategy from this little buy-to-let units to more student accommodation. And I apologize if there's spelling mistakes somewhere through it. I did this very fast this morning. And multi-let units where I have families.
Oof. Brother, I want to thank you again. I do not know how much I can thank you in sharing this, but I think we could end the show here. But I want to speak to a couple of things that you mentioned. The first one, you mentioned the fact that you got married to your high school sweetheart. Bless your soul, man. And for the fact that you were coming from a different town, you're coming to the big city, I honestly think that that represents any ordinary South African. We all come from different cities to come into the big cities so that we can earn a little bit of money. But we get these life policies in our workplaces. I want to speak to my own life policy that I got in the first time. I didn't even know what it was, because back at home, nobody had spoken about it. And yes, my foster father had actually died. I remember my foster father died around about when I was 21. And they spoke about a policy paying out. But by the time I got formally employed, I couldn't connect that policy and my late father being buried and so on, and having the policy. So it's very important that we go in and to look into these affairs, right? And who are the beneficiaries and so on. And I think I have seen cases where the mother is not in good books with the in-law, and then the policy pays out to the in-law, and they say like, whether there's a child or no child, we don't care, we're moving on. But here you are sensitizing us to say you are someone of the caliber that should have looked after this, but life happened, right? You spoke about it and life happened. So just like you, my friends that are watching this today, you are hearing this story from my brother. Where is your stuff? Is it all pointed out correctly? In the TJ tribe, we're always talking about everything needs to sit in the trust, and the trust can look after all of this. The administration of it, it's an ongoing process, isn't it? And life changes, and how do you change around it? And you speak again of losing your wife, and I'm really sorry that you lost your wife at a young age. But had she not died also, all of us today would have never had the opportunity of learning from your experience. So I'm very sorry that your missus is gone. But similarly, it highlights the fact of estate planning. And I want to bring this to the TJ tribe to say that we all create these trusts, but there's nothing in it. We all go on to create these companies, but the estate planning around it is not done. And if you've been with the TJ tribe, you do know that we are meticulous around this kind of stuff. And I hammer it along the way to say, guys, sort out your affairs, because you don't know when the day will come, when Jesus will call upon you. Either call on your partner. And if these things are not sorted out, then the results is exactly what you just mentioned, brother. And speaking about the wasted costs, you speak of what, plus 100 grand that you had to, who's got 100 grand just chilling around? Nobody, right? And you speak of this 100 grand that you say you had to pay for transfer fees. And there's more costs that are associated with the estates when you're closing off and things like that. But you just shared with us this 100 grand. So I'm of the view that, it's very important that we have taken a page out of a leaf out of a page out of your book, something like that. We have taken out something out of your book so that we can be able to implement it. So I'm going to call upon all of you guys that are watching today, and I'm going to ask you a couple of things. Number one, the reason why I actually asked my brother for us to have this session here is because it's very simple what he has gone through, but the magnitude of what has happened here is humongous. So number one, are your affairs in good order? And if they're not in good order, where can you go? If you are one of those people that are saying, TJ, this is something that I want to do for my family and so on, then we say, come, we will help you on how to do this. That's the first thing. And then the second thing is that maybe you're just wanting to sort these affairs. I do not sort out, I'm not an estate planning person, I don't do that. But within the tribe, we've got a section in which we're diving into this stuff. So if that's what you're just looking for estate planning, we will direct you to an attorney and they'll help you out to do that. But if you are someone else who is exactly like my brother, who is trying to build a business, and you're in this space here, then again, I say to you, come, let us help you. I've been helping out this brother of mine, like with many other brothers that I've been helping out, and some of my sisters, we're helping out in the tribe, making sure that whatever that you are growing today, it can go wherever it's supposed to be going. That's the first thing. The second thing is that this foundation that you've got, a house that is built on a weak foundation will collapse. But once your foundation is great, and you can build whatever empire it is, whether it's in real estate and you want to mix it real estate and business, my friends, that's why I started devoting myself to coaching people like you, to say I can help you within this journey, but above that, you put in the effort, we give you the direction, we give you the work, everything else, we point you to who can help you out. It's very simple, but you need to do the work. So I'm excited, I really am excited for the fact that on this journey, we have seen how it can play out, but it doesn't have to be like that for you. You can change the game. You can make sure that you yourself and your family, you are nicely protected, and you can change the game for the next generation of your life. So that's it. It is I, TJ. If you've got any comments before you jump on to watch another video in the tribe, let us know in the comments. Add us the comments. Or if you're like saying, TJ, I want to go ahead with this coaching thingy, we've put in a comment right in the link. You can hit on that comment, and above that, add in your details. We will ring you. Myself or even one of my team members will ring you, and we do not have to go through this same journey. You can change your game, and that's what the TJ Tribe is all about. We will see you on the next video. It is I, TJ.